we go. How we doing, YouTubers? I haven't done any Buddy Holly. I do like Buddy Holly, and I've been getting into him a little bit more recently. A student came in, she wanted to learn this song. Lauren, if you're watching, little shout out. And it was awesome, and it reminded me that, hey, Buddy Holly's great, why don't I listen to more Buddy Holly? And I thought, you know what, many of you probably already know the chord sequences to I Fought the Law. You can certainly play it with a couple of easy chords. It's in the key of G, and you can pretty much play the whole song with G, C, and D. So what I thought I'd do is let's go for a walk through the guitar solo, and I want to talk about a few of the concepts that he uses as well, because a lot of you budding rockabilly players would probably find some great use in those concepts to use for yourself. Now, the tabs for the solo will be on my Patreon. If you're not a member of the Patreon, consider checking it out. I even do sound slice videos for my Patrons where there's scrolling tab, the playing, it's like little mini courses. All the videos I'm doing these days, they're almost like little mini courses. It's really cool. In fact, I'll thank my latest Patrons. Don't run away, it's only going to take a sec. I just want to thank Tom Butler, Gator Backenstos, that's a really cool name, Chris Robertson, Paul Egerlant, Bruno, Ira Segal, Kate, and Mike Perez. It's actually been a busy week, which is really awesome. Really helps out. And I'm back at the home little studio. That's the room at home that I was doing a lot of videos in. I felt a little bit nostalgic. I actually kind of missed doing lessons in here. So to all my followers that have seen the growth of this channel from this room to taking that to my studio with the ring light and all the fancy production, I've stripped it back a little, although I've still got the nice camera. Anyway, let's get into the lesson. So, as I mentioned, the song's in the key of G, but the first chord is actually, the solo kicks into gear on the C chord, or the 4 chord in that rockabilly, in the chord sense. So, G being the 1 chord, C being the 4 chord, and D being the 5 chord. We actually kick, so that solo would be starting on the C chord. And what we're doing up here is actually a C chord. I want you to think of it like this. If we played an F chord back here, which you might be familiar with, if we move that up, G, A, B, C, it's just like an F chord. And what we do, we strum, but the good news is you don't really have to play the 1st string. You can actually do just the 10th fret on the 4th string, the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and the 8th fret on the 2nd string. Okay, just like that, and leave your finger up to block that 1st string a little bit, and I'll explain why in a sec. So when we strum it, we strum 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and just relax your wrist a little bit. Don't hold the pick too tight. Down, down, up, down. Really important to get the strumming right. Just like that. And by the way, I'm not trying to be all cool and artsy, or Greg Koch, I don't know how to say his name. The light, my hat was blocking my eyes. I was looking a bit too broodesome. So anyhow, down, down, up, down. Then what we do, we slide those fingers. So we've got the notes C, E, and G here. When we slide up the neck, my 3rd finger is going to slide to the 14th fret, which is an E. My 1st finger is going to play the 12th fret, which is a G. And my 2nd finger is going to play the 13th fret, which is a C. So we're going... Okay, they're both C chords. We've just moved up the neck. The notes get rearranged slightly. And we have what we call, it's another inversion of a C. So this is a C, and this is what we would consider a C 1st inversion, more or less. So, same rhythm on this chord. So down, down, up, down. And Buddy Holly had a beautiful strumming kind of feel. Kind of really raked the strings a little bit, which sort of just means to, on that downstroke in particular, slow it up a little. Particularly on that first little stroke, just sort of push through the strings a little bit on your downstrokes. And yeah, there's a little bit of flamboyance going on there that's not super easy to explain. I won't get too bogged down. Hopefully you'll develop a feel for it, but it's totally okay if you just strum it straight up like that. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one that. So down, down, up, down. Let's not overcomplicate it. Up here, on the 14, 12, and 13, And then the next one, flatten the first finger, just like that. Okay, so now we get the note E at the top there. So it's still the same chord, it's the E first inversion with the, C first inversion with the E note on the top. And then we add the pinky, which is a G. Remember I mentioned before we've got the notes C, E and G. He's just playing with those notes, stacking them a little bit higher to build this chordal part of the solo. Okay, now what we're doing here, this is actually really cool because if you think about an A chord, we play, you know, second fret, second fret, second fret, fourth string, third string, second string. If we take that back 2 frets, that's a G chord. We mimic that up at the 12th fret because that all begins again. They're the same notes. That's another way that we can play a G chord. So, really cool sound. So, what he's doing here, he's doing that same rhythm. Down, down, up, down. And then we add the third finger and the second finger onto the 4th string and the 2nd string, the same chord that we used before when we came from the E to, I keep saying E, the C to the E first inversion. And then we add them back, so we're playing C again. And then we strum that type of a G. So down, down, up, down, 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 up, down with the C chord with the first inversion. And back to the G. One strum, okay, and off the back of that strum, we play this lead lick. Okay, and that lick goes, so let's go from the strum, 15 on the 3rd, 12 on the 3rd, 15 on the 4, 12 on the 4, 15 on the 5th string, 14 on the 5th string, and then the 12th fret there on the 4th string. So that little scale there, again, very clever. It's a combination of minor pentatonic and somewhat major ideas in G. We've come off a G major chord, then we go to the B flat here. We go to the, which is just G minor pentatonic. I have a video on all the pentatonic shapes, really worth learning. 15, 12, 15, 12. This is all just G minor pentatonic at this point, so we can use minor over major. That happens a lot. We're still playing G minor pentatonic, and then when we get to this note here, it's basically a return back to G major, and then that note there could be from either. So the actual shape that, there's a shape that we could play a whole minor pentatonic from there, which would be 13, 15, 13, 15, 12, 15, 12, 15, 13, 15, 13, 15, okay? So he's going back to major here because that's a B natural. Okay, and then we do the exact same thing we did at the start of the solo from the C. That's all the same. You've already learnt that, okay? And then it finishes with this really cool rhythm. So that's all on the G again, that flat G chord. Down, down, up, down, 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 down. And there's another example. That little rake. Yeah, he has a real feel about his playing. It's very difficult to describe in a 10-minute video. Again, just strum it, see if you can listen to him and pick up his feel. And then we do the C first inversion again, so add the C first inversion. We play the same rhythm again on G, so we return to G, we play the rhythm, we play it again. And then we go to a D chord way back here, which I really love that, it's really using the fretboard. And then we finish with this G chord that was exactly the same as the C chord we played up here. So I'll just, a few details I went past a little quick there, so down, 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 and then we start that rhythm. Same rhythm we played at the beginning of that section. A D chord, surely you know a D chord, but just in case you don't, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. That was beginning from the 3rd string, so 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. Strum it twice, or actually, sorry, do this rhythm. Okay, bum, 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 bum. And we finish on the G chord, 5, 4, 3, 3. And that's it, guys. That is the whole solo. I'll play it one more time for you now that you've sort of been through it all loosely. Maybe you can't play it yet, but that's okay. You work on it and come back to this. So here we go. Okay, and that's it. A brilliant solo. Hopefully you've picked up on a couple little concepts there that are really useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.